You're watching CBS News Los Angeles, The Rundown.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ross Palumbo. Here's a look at your top stories at this hour. A major legal and financial setback for former President Donald Trump today. A judge ordered him to pay more than $350 million in his civil fraud trial. And that's not the only penalty. KCAL's Christian Benavidez is live in New York, outside of the courthouse, with the very latest. Christian.
Ross, the former president will have to fork over those $350 million regardless of his appeal, which is a lot of money, even for a billionaire. A New York judge has ordered former President Donald Trump and his co-defendants to pay more than $350 million. The ruling also bars Trump from running any company in New York for 3 years. Judge Arthur Engoron released a decision 4 months after finding Trump had committed fraud by inflating his assets and net worth, all to get better terms on loans and insurance. New York Attorney General Leticia James had argued the former president should be banned from doing business in New York.
We have produced evidence about the scope, the scale, the depth, the breadth of the illegality, the fraud that impersonally enriched Donald Trump and his family.
Throughout the trial, the former president denied wrongdoing, clashed with the judge, and slammed the case as a witch hunt. He said the prosecution was part of a political crusade.
It's all a conspiracy to try and get Biden, who can't put 2 sentences together, trying to get him into office.
The judge also banned sons Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump from running a corporation in New York for 2 years, saying they intentionally falsified business records. The former president and his co-defendants are expected to appeal. The former president has 30 days to turn over those $350 million if he wants to avoid any additional penalties. Now, just to give you a sense of how all these legal cases are playing out, the former president just yesterday was here in New York for a separate case just across the street from here. Ross?
And Christian, has Trump responded to this massive loss here, having to pay more than $350 million?
Look, his legal team was out with a statement saying that essentially this means the end of doing business in New York. The former president is at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida, and he often does speak out after cases like this one. Ross?
Much more to come on this for sure. We know you've been on it. Christian Benavidez live in New York. Thank you so much. And now to breaking news. New York Attorney General Leticia James just holding a news conference to talk about her victory in this trial against Donald Trump moments ago. Let's listen to what she had to say.
Everyone must play by the same rules. We have a responsibility to protect the integrity of the marketplace. And for years, Donald Trump engaged in deceptive business practices and tremendous fraud. Donald Trump falsely, knowingly inflated his net worth by billions of dollars to unjustly enrich himself, his family, and to cheat the system. Donald Trump may have authored the art of the deal, but he perfected the art of the steal. This long-running fraud was intentional, egregious, illegal. And he did all of this with the help of the other defendants, his 2 adult sons and senior executives at the Trump Organization. And so, after 11 weeks of trial, we showed the staggering extent of his fraud and exactly how Donald Trump and the other defendants deceived banks, insurance companies, and other financial institutions for their own personal gain. We proved just how much Donald Trump, his family, and his company unjustly benefited from his fraud. Today, the court, once again, ruled in our favor and in favor of every hard-working American who plays by the rules. Donald Trump and the other defendants were ordered to pay $463.9 million. That represents $363.9 million in disgorgement, plus $100 million in interest which will continue to increase every single day until it is paid. Donald Trump, the former chief financial officer of the Trump Organization, Alan Weisselberg, and the former controller of the Trump Organization, Jeffrey McConney, are each banned from serving as an officer or director of any New York company for 3 years. Mr. Weisselberg and Mr. McConney are also banned for life from serving in a financial management role in any New York company. Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump are banned from serving as an officer or director of any New York company for 2 years. And Donald Trump and his companies are banned from applying for loans from any New York bank or financial institution for 3 years. A new independent director of compliance will be created at the Trump Organization to ensure the company establishes internal protocols and meets financial reporting obligations. And the current independent external monitor will continue to oversee the company's financial dealings and ensure this fraud cannot continue. I want to be clear. White-collar financial fraud is not a victimless crime. When the powerful break the law and take more than their fair share, there are fewer resources available for working people, small businesses, and families. And everyday Americans cannot lie to a bank about how much money they have in order to get a mortgage to buy a home, or a loan to keep their business afloat, or to send their child to college. And if they did, our government would throw the book at them. I want to thank the entire incredible and hardworking team in my office that tried this case, because the scale and the scope of Donald Trump's fraud is staggering. And so too is his ego and his belief that the rules do not apply to him. Today, we are holding Donald Trump accountable. We are holding him accountable for lying, cheating, and a lack of contrition, and for flouting the rules that all of us must play by. Because there cannot be different rules for different people in this country, and former presidents are no exception. This decision is a massive victory for every American who believes in that simple but fundamental pillar of our democracy, that the rule of law applies to all of us, equally, fairly, and justly. Thank you.
New York Attorney General Leticia James talking about her massive victory against former President Donald Trump, his 2 sons, and the entire Trump Organization. Donald Trump himself now responsible for paying more than $354 million and barred for 3 years from doing business in New York. She said just moments ago, Donald Trump may have written the art of the deal, but as she says, he, quote, perfected the art of the steal. We have much more on this story coming up on KCAL News at 4. Back here at home, a large truck explosion yesterday, injuring 9 LA City firefighters. Well, today, our Jasmine Viel paid a visit to the fire station where they are all from to see how the department and the community are holding up.
Well, I am here at Fire Station 38 in Wilmington, chatting with the crew working out of this station today as they are praying and just very grateful that their fellow firefighters who worked out of this station yesterday and responded to that truck on fire are okay. 7 of those injured firefighters from that explosion from the compressed natural gas are now out of the hospital. 2, though, remain. They are stable, though. 1 at LA General, who was airlifted there to the burn center, and another still at Harbor UCLA getting that treatment. But again, 7 of those firefighters, moderate to minor injuries. I mean, they just say it is a miracle that no one was more seriously hurt or even killed in this explosion. But again, here at Fire Station 38, we are checking on the crew. We saw flowers arrive and cards from the community. Some CERT volunteers showed up to give fruit and burritos to the team here, just to show that they are supporting them in all of their emotions that they're going through We are also going to be talking to the union rep for the LA Fire Department on his thoughts about what happened Thursday morning with that explosion. You know, this is such a tight-knit community, and we're seeing so much of that again here today, especially at 38, and the other station that those firefighters responded out of to that explosion was 49, so not too far away from here. All of that coming up on KCAL News tonight.
And breaking right now, former President Donald Trump responding after his massive court loss. Let's listen in.
It's a record. Nobody's ever been overturned on one case 4 times. And I think very importantly, and I think ultimately the most important, we've employed tens of thousands of people in New York, and we pay taxes like few other people have ever paid in New York, and they don't care about that. It's a state that's going bust. It's a state that's going bust because everybody's leaving. And it's all headed up by Biden, who's destroying our country. So this is Russia, this is China, this is what you've been reading about all your lives, and it's happening right here in our country. Thank you very much. We will stop it. We will make America great again. You have my word. Thank you very much.
Donald Trump live in New York right now, not taking any questions. That is his first reaction after suffering that massive loss in that civil case against him, a $354 million loss. The former president blaming just about everyone, including President Biden, China, and Russia. We'll have much more on this again coming up in just about 48 minutes on KCAL News at 4. Turning now to our weather here at home. A big change is on the way. Another storm in the forecast. Even though we still see a little sunshine out there, the clouds are coming in. When will we see the rain? KCAL meteorologist Paul Diano is tracking the latest condition and what's ahead as we start the weekend. Paul.
How you doing, meteorologist Paul Diano with your forecast. Our forecast timing has changed a bit. Rainfall totals haven't. That said, there is a new flood watch in effect for the greater Los Angeles area for Sunday through the middle of next week, where we could receive 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. What we have today is hazy sunshine. Look at the visibility is not 10 miles everywhere. It's quite hazy in Orange County, Fullerton, Santa Ana, Laguna Beach. We have 6s there. Chino, only 3-mile visibility. So hazy sunshine, but sunshine nonetheless in Southern California for Friday afternoon, and some cirrus cloud cover passing overhead. As of this taping, it's over LA County and Orange County, moving in from northwest to southeast. Let's talk about the setup in the atmosphere. We still have a blocking ridge of high pressure hangs on for about another day and a half. So any rainfall from the first wave of this storm will stay in central and northern California. Our widespread rain likely will not begin until Monday. So we get dry weather, sunny weather tomorrow. And then on Sunday, we'll still be mainly dry. Could be a few showers west of Los Angeles. Then rain chances really ramp up after that. It is President's Day and Tuesday that look quite soggy. For Los Angeles, the remainder of today will make it to the mid to upper 60s. We will go cloudy overnight tonight and a mixture of clouds and sunshine on Saturday. Then on Sunday evening, the rain chance increases. And then early next week, that's when we could receive 2 to 4 inches of additional rain, which doesn't sound like much compared to the last storm. That is more than enough to cause flooding because the ground is still saturated from that last storm. So we're watching out for a flooding potential and also the risk of thunderstorms as the front moves through on Tuesday. So dry through Sunday evening, very wet early next week. That's your forecast.
All right. Thanks a lot, Paul. Still beautiful tonight and tomorrow. Well, that is the rundown. Thanks for joining us. We will be back live at 4 here on CBS News Los Angeles.